Everybody, you guys ready? All right, I'm Stryker, and welcome to the Red Bull Sound Space at KROQ. Did anyone ditch work and you're here illegally? You. It's like half the room. Those of you watching online, hello. Thanks for watching. What an exciting day for this band. This is a hometown band. This is a hometown show. They put out a lot of records. Many of us have been there from day one, even before day one. And just a few days ago, they were playing in front of about 50,000, and now we have 200 people here in our Red Bull Sound Space. Please welcome our good friends, Linkin Park.
You know, this is low-key when I had to ask Stryker if we were going to actually talk or just play music.
Well, since you set up all this time to set up instruments, can we talk just briefly and then you can play the instruments?
Yes. Are you going to play?
Yes, Chester. Hi. Great to see you. Wow. What a day. The hunting party is out.
It's out.
Here it is. All right, Mike, I'm going to ask you on this, and then I'm going to go to Chester after this.
Okay.
I mean, you guys are not rookies, but it still feels like you work as hard as you did 13, 14 years ago, but are there still...
That's the illusion that we want to give you, yes.
It's a great illusion. Yeah. But what about the excitement then to now when you're putting out a new record? It's a huge day right now.
Well, every time we make something, you know, we're trying to keep, first and foremost, I mean, we're trying to keep ourselves excited and trying to do stuff that's challenging and fun and new. And when we were making this album, that's, you know, one of the things that we realized that we kind of wanted, we wanted to listen to something that was more aggressive than maybe what we've been making, maybe than what is going on out there in general in rock. And we wanted to, there was a certain kind of sound of it that we wanted. And so, you know, we spent better part of like maybe 9 or more months making the hunting party, and I think we kind of, you know, realized the vision that we set out to achieve.
And Chester, over this 9 months, was there more frustration? I know that, dude. Was there more frustration? Less frustration? Was it easier or more difficult making the hunting party?
I don't know. I took naps the whole time, so it was I was rested. I feel really rested. I'm pretty sure I sang while I was in the studio in between naps. It sounds funny, but it's true. Like I was literally like taking naps on the couch, which I do at every studio since the beginning of time for us. So at every studio we go to, there's a couch that somehow draws me in. It also, crazy enough, it drew Rick Rubin in the beginning too. Like the same couch that I would sleep on, he would sleep on every time.
It's like a nap fight.
It's like it's so funny, but it's true. But in other seriousness, because I was serious about that too. But this record was really cool, and I actually was telling Mike the other day, thanks for deciding to move in a different direction on this record, because when we talk about like listening to what the music wants you to do in the studio, that's kind of like what I kind of think of us as like antennas, like this. The ideas are something, they're out there, and you kind of we hear them first, and I think Mike was really listening to himself and listening to what the music that he wanted to make, and really took the band in a different direction. And producing the album ourselves, I think, had we not been just kind of writing and not really worrying about a producer or whatever, I think that allowed us to make that big U-turn, and it sent us down a road that inspired the entire band. We all got really excited about making these songs. And I always feel like the record we make is the best representation of who we are at that time. I don't think we could have made this record before Hybrid Theory or right afterwards or whatever. I think this is what we can do now. This is what we're excited about doing. And really being in Linkin Park is like, for me, it's like being in a different band every time we make a record. It's like, it's pretty awesome. So I just try to stay out of the way and let the magic happen. And when I'm needed, I'm called upon, and they wake me up from my slumber. And I walk in and I go, ah! And then I walk back out and I go back to sleep. It's great.
All right, you're not feeling that right now while we're talking.
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay, good.
I had a cup of coffee, 2 emergencies or whatever those things are called. I'm ready to go. I had a Red Bull earlier.
Nice. Mike, Rick Rubin was not in the room with you, so I would like to know who was the loudest in the room, or not the loudest, who was like, yeah, this is not working, this is working. What was it like without Rick in the room?
Well, I mean, I think that, when we're making an album, generally there's a moment when, the reason we hire a producer is because we want that set of ears that is coming from, like, maybe looking at the big picture, coming from outside the band, looking in. And this album, I felt like we just knew what it needed to be, that we didn't really need somebody else to bounce ideas off of. It was just that sense of, like, we reached a certain point and looked at it and said, we may already be past the point where somebody else would be really helpful. Let's just keep going. And that's not a knock at all on any producer, especially Rick, because, you know, he's given us these, you know, ideas and gifts over the course of our career that have been really, really instrumental in shaping the band. But on this album, we just knew what it was supposed to be.
All right, last few questions, and then we want to see you play live. I look at the back, and I knew this was happening, but you got Darren from System of a Down, you got Tom Morello, you got Paige from Helmet. So you look at Tom Morello and you look at Darren from System. Those are 2 bands, obviously, huge, incredible, influential bands that don't even exist anymore. Which stinks.
Yeah.
Did you discuss with them at all? Not like, why don't you guys do this? But was it like, hold on, we've been together this long. We're going strong. From my perspective, it seems like you guys get along pretty well. But those guys aren't even a band anymore. Did you guys talk about that?
It's definitely a topic that kind of, like, whether it was directly or indirectly, it came up. And just with Tom, the song with Tom ended up not even having vocals. It's just an instrumental. And it was mostly on there. One of the reasons why I personally wanted it on there is just to remember the conversations and the studio days that we had with him, more than actually, like, any kind of output. Like, it's on there because we spent a couple days with Tom and talked about process, talked about, you know, being in a band and doing what we all do and how different that can be. Because believe it or not, like, each of the people on the album and the people we've worked with in the past, everybody kind of arrives at, you know, their creative process kind of from scratch in a lot of ways, or at least coming from different perspectives. So the way, even if 2 bands were to sound similar, like at the end of the day, oftentimes the way they make that sound or make those songs is not the same thing. And we talked about all that stuff with the guys, and the subjects of, like, you know, group dynamics and, like, personalities and stuff did kind of come up. It definitely for us, I think it gave us an appreciation for, you know, what we've got, the dynamic we've got, and being able to, because we have arguments too. Like, we have difficult times in conversations, and
it's like, dude, I don't want sushi again, bro. Like, we had it 3 times this week. Can we have, like, Zinku chicken or something, like, instead?
That's an actual.
Because we've had it, like, all week. Is that cool? And Phoenix. You know, usually we find a way to get through it, and it works out really well.
This man Phoenix, you guys know Phoenix right here?
Are you calling me out, Striker?
Yes, I would like everyone to speak, and it's not that often I get to talk to everyone at once, and I know we want to see them play, but just a few more questions. So, I mean, you guys play in front of 70,000, 80,000, even more than that. Here we are in front of 250, but I would like to know for you, your personal favorite early show you guys did. Maybe because it was great, or it stunk, or there were 20 people there. What do you remember about some of the early shows when you were a part of the band?
Did you mean that there's 250,000 people here? Is that...
Watching, there's 250,000.
I think I don't know, there's a lot of early show memories. One of the fun things, though, for us starting out was that Brad and I were going to school at UCLA, so we were right here in the LA area. Go Bruins. And we used to play at the Roxy and the Whiskey starting out. A lot of people don't realize it, but at least back in that day, you kind of had to sell your own tickets. So to do that, we'd have to buy our way onto the bill. So you pay $2,000. You're given 200 tickets. You can sell them for whatever you want. You know, if you can sell them for $12, then you make some money. If you sell them for $2, then you obviously lose a lot of money. And we used to set it up to where we'd have a party at our apartment in Westwood, but the only way you could get into the party was that you'd have to go to the show first. And so that was our way of selling tickets to actually try to fill those clubs. And I remember we'd play at most, at least early on, we'd play.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brad.
Do you remember the guy that?
Brad.
Do you remember the guy that threw up on our carpet? And I when you show a dog what he did, I showed him to throw up, and I made him clean up his own throw up.
That's Brad. Does that?
You say that's Brad? Like, literally, that's Brad.
Yeah, that's Brad.
That's the Ness of Brad.
I don't know if that translated as well if you're listening on radio, potentially. But that was Brad who just showed up and shared that portion.
Talking about throwing up and you guys.
And then he
had to clean it up.
disappeared. He's
Yes.
gone.
He ran off.
I don't know where he is. Yeah, but that for us, that was a lot of fun. We have a lot of fond memories of kind of growing up, not only as a band, but as guys in the area around here. And thankfully now, I mean, UCLA, yes. Thankfully now, we don't have to trick you guys into coming out with a party afterwards. But
we have a party at your place tonight.
Should you
We'll all
so
show
want,
up.
should you so want, and you promise not to throw up on the carpet,
Yeah.
Brad has invited you over after this show.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, last couple of things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Hahn right here. You guys are going to be doing shows with 30 Seconds to Mars and AFI. Have you seen any of the films Jared has done? You being a director and the guy that you are, have you seen any of his movies?
Yeah.
Ladies and
I've seen them,
gentlemen.
yes. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. He's very pretty.
What are you working on anything, movies, outside of music? Do you have anything in your head? Are you develop anything? Are you creating something in your little bubble that you live in? Because you do so many different cool things.
Yeah.
You're making me look like an expert right now, Joe. Do you know that?
I shot a movie called Mall, which is coming out this fall. And I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with that. But yeah, it's a story about these people that hang out at a mall, and there's a shooting that happens, and how everyone deals with everything going on, and they're really messed up people.
Okay.
Kind of like all of you guys.
And this guy plays drums. This is Rob, everybody. I'm gonna hand you the mic, and I'm just gonna ask you one. Oh, you got a mic right there. There you go. What has been the highlight, or what was the highlight for you making this record? Because it seems like you were working your ass off on this record.
Yes, this record was very active on the drums,
Right.
which was really, really fun for me, obviously being a drummer. The last couple records we had a lot more electronics going on the album in the rhythm section, so the process of recording the record was really different. We'd kind of write stuff and record it at the same time and work it. I'd work with Mike, and he would do the programming around the live drums or vice versa. And on this record, it was much more similar to like our first records, where I had to personally do a lot of practicing before going into the studio, and we were recording the drums to tape. So when we recorded, we had to play the song from beginning to end all the way through, and I had to make it sound like I'd been playing the song for years. So it was a lot of work for me personally. It was a great challenge. The guys in my band obviously pushed me really hard, which at the time I hated them for it, and now I love them for it because I became a better drummer as a result.
Very cool. All right, are you guys ready for music now? All right, the new album is out. It's called The Hunting Party. It's right here. We appreciate them so much for being here today. You know, this is a band that has had a vision, and they just stick to that vision. They don't really veer off the path, and I'm a huge fan of these guys, and they're just so good, and they're so good live. And here they are in the KROQ Red Bull sound space. Linkin Park, everybody. Thank you, guys.
when a man has plans of being rich, but the boss's plans is wealthy. Dirty money scheme, a clean split, nonsense is seen. Even corporate hands is filthy. Talk team and take the paper out. Only think about bank accounts, assets, and realty. Anybody's expense, no shame with a clear conscience. No regrets and guilt free. Claim that ain't the way that they built me. Smoke screen before the flames. No one sees the dough of the deal peak. See it's time for things to change. Rearrange like good product, rebuild cheap. Anything if it's more to blame. Brain manipulated like artists is real deep. Until no more remains, but it's still me. Like authentic hip-hop and rock to pop and radio. And record companies kill me. Try to force me to stray and obey. Got the call to say, yo, how will the real be? You feel me? You will see that greed could be the blame. Greedy for the fame, TV your name, meaning of the game. To me you're all the same. You're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty all the same. Too sick to be ashamed. You want to point your finger, but there's no one else to blame. You're guilty all the same. Too sick to be ashamed. You want to point your finger, but there's no one else to blame. There's no one else to blame. Guilty all the same. Guilty all the same. You're guilty all the same. You know the deal. Waking a sweat again. Another day's been laid to waste. In my disgrace, stuck in my head again. Feels like I'll never leave this place. There's no escape. I'm my own worst enemy. I'd given up. I'm sick of feeling. Is there nothing you can say? Take this all away. I'm suffocated. Tell me what the fuck is wrong with me. I don't know what to take. Thought I was focused, but I'm scared. I'm not prepared.
Red Bull's kicking in. Everybody in here, ready? Old school. I love it.
I cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I've said before. All these words, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. Less I hear, the less you say. You'll find that out anywhere. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. One step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I find the answers aren't so clear. Wish I could find a way to disappear. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found this in ignorance. Nothing seems to go away. Over and over again. Just like before. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. Cause I'm one step closer to the edge. Cause I'm about to break. Everything you say to me takes me one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. One step closer to the edge. I'm about to shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm about to break everything you say to me. Takes me one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. Cause I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break everything you say to me. Takes me one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to break. One step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up when I'm talking to you.
You guys want to hear some new shit? Straight in.
The song's called Wastelands. War with no weapon, marching with no stepping, murder with no killing, ill in every direction. First, no sequel to the math, no equal. Job with no yoga, more power, less people. And yeah, not afraid of that. Printed in your paperback. Every rap is faded back to actions of the late attack. Every razor blade to save it till they play it back. Slay and leave them laying on a paper bag, faded black. In the wastelands of today, there's nothing left to lose, and there's nothing more to take. But you force yourself to choose. In the wastelands of today, where tomorrow disappears, and the future slips away, and your road turns into fear. In the wastelands of today. We're sucker for just talking, but meaning they got none. None of them come proper, they talk like a shotgun. How many got bred with integrity? Not one. So no, I'm not afraid to see you suckers hold a blade to me. Ain't a way to shake the ground I built before you came to me. Take it how you take it, I'm the opposite of vacancy. This is not negotiation, I can hate and wait and see. In the wastelands of today, where there's nothing left to lose, and there's nothing more to take, but you force yourself to choose. In the wastelands of today, where tomorrow disappears, and the future slips away, and your road turns into fear, and your road turns into fear. In the wastelands of today. Choose in the wastelands of today, where tomorrow disappears and the future slips away, and your road turns into fear, and your road turns into fear. In the wastelands of today, in the wastelands of today, in the wastelands of today. Thank you guys very much. How about some hands up? Let's go, a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of place, and I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, what I want you to feel. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So I go watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretending I'm not. I'll be here 'cause you're all that I got. I can't feel the way I did before, so turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. This damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. I am a little bit insecure, let alone confident, 'cause you don't understand. I do what I can, and sometimes I don't make sense. You never wanna say, and I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you who wants just to hear me out. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretending I'm not. I'll be here 'cause you're all that I got. Come on. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Time won't tell this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me. I won't be ignored. Hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now. Hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right Thank you guys very much. This is another new one. This one's called Until It's Gone.
To build a glow. I've heard it said 1,000 times, but now I know that you don't know what you've got. No, you don't know what you've got. Oh, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Until it's gone.
No, you don't know feel like I just jumped in a fucking pool. This is insane.
In this farewell, there's no blood, there's no alibi. 'Cause I have drawn regret from the truth of 1,000 lies. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I become, erase myself and let go of what I've done. Put to rest what you thought of me. Were likely misled with the hands of uncertainty. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I become, erase myself and let go of what start again, and whatever pain may come, today this ends. I'm forgiving what I've done. I'll face myself to cross out what I become, erase myself and let go of what I've
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for being amazing this afternoon. It's fun playing for a tight group of people like this. Hot little room. We enjoy it. We hope you guys have fun too. You guys have fun today? If you know this one, you help us out with it. We're gonna flip it a little bit. Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw 'em up and let something shine. Going out of my fucking mind. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Not a tight so I won't get loose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Let myself out and no one cares. Dug the church out and lay down there with a shovel up battery somewhere. Yeah, someone pour it in. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stomp it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out, go stop the show. in that sloppy flow. Stocking off for a lock and load. Cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. That's rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Big chain in my know he works. Fuck this hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing, and I know that I won't be satisfied. So why try ignoring him? Breaking the dirt, there's flow again. Say your prayers and stop it out when they bring that chorus in. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw it away, just to throw it away. I bleed it out. I felt enough disgust. I'm not your face lost. I pulled myself so far. I'm not your thoughts lost. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. Just to throw